My ex showed up on the night of my 10-year anniversary, uninvited, unapologetic, and determined to destroy everything I'd built. I was seconds away from falling apart, until I did something that changed everything. Have you ever planned something for months, maybe even years, only to have it fall apart in a single moment? That was my reality. Before I take you through the heartbreak and healing, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. 10 years, a whole decade with the love of my life. My husband, Marcus, and I had weathered storms and celebrated sunrises. And this anniversary? It wasn't just a milestone, it was our victory lap. We booked a private dinner at the Tide's Embrace, a candlelit restaurant along Savannah, Georgia's coast. I wore the jasmine perfume from our first date, my silk dress catching the glow of flickering candles. Marcus brought a handwritten letter, sealed with wax, just like when he proposed. Every detail was perfect. Oysters on ice, grilled sea bass scented with rosemary and lemon, a playlist of our songs humming through the terrace. I'd spent months planning, wanting to rekindle our spark after years of balancing my marketing career and his teaching job. Holding Marcus's hand, his eyes warm, I thought, this is what healing feels like. This is what peace tastes like. Then, a voice cut through the warmth, sharp and venomous. Wow, 10 years already? That's impressive. For you? My stomach flipped. Standing by our table was Daniel, my ex-boyfriend, smug as ever, his tailored jacket and cocky grin unchanged after 5 years. He wasn't supposed to be here. Not on my anniversary, not ever. Marcus stood slowly, his body tense, hand clenching his wine glass. I reached for him, my fingers trembling, grounding myself. Daniel's eyes locked on me, ignoring Marcus, as if he still owned my story. I always knew you'd settle, he smirked. Just didn't think it'd be this soon. Back with Daniel, love was a losing game. For 3 years, he chipped away at me, criticizing my clothes, canceling plans, gaslighting me into believing I was too sensitive. If I dressed up, I was trying too hard. If I didn't, I was letting myself go. Successes were showing off. Failures proved I wasn't enough. He ruined birthdays, left me waiting at restaurants, then blamed me for overreacting. I became hollow. My confidence eroded, until a quiet, tear-soaked Tuesday night when I left, slipping away without a word. He didn't chase me, but his calls, flowers, and voice notes, laced with fake apologies, haunted me. I blocked them all, yet his shadow lingered, waking me in panic from dreams too real. Therapy peeled back wounds I hadn't seen bleeding, a jagged road to healing. Slowly, I rebuilt myself, stronger, softer, whole, learning to trust my worth through late-night journaling and sessions that felt like excavating my soul. Marcus was my light after that cold tunnel. Our first date, laughing over coffee in Savannah's Forsyth Park, the fountain sparkling under the sun, felt like home. His love didn't demand explanations. It held my scars gently. Our marriage wasn't flashy. Quiet moments, shared dreams, his steady hand in mine. So when Daniel pulled up a chair at our table, uninvited, his voice loud with fake nostalgia about our real connection, my world tilted. Whispers spread through the restaurant, eyes turning, our perfect night a spectacle. Daniel twisted our past, painting me as the one who ran away. My hands shook, fear creeping in. Would I shrink back into the woman who stayed silent to avoid his scenes, the one who doubted her own light? But I didn't. Marcus leaned in, his voice low. Do you want me to handle this? I shook my head. This was my fight, not just for our anniversary, but for the woman I'd become. I stood, my voice trembling but firm. Daniel, you don't get to come here. You don't get to crash the happiest moment of my life and rewrite the past like you were some kind of victim. You were toxic, you were manipulative, and I walked away from that version of myself, the one who thought I deserved your kind of love. His laugh faltered, a crack in his confidence. You want attention? You won't find it here. Guests watched, some nodding, others shifting uncomfortably, their wine glasses paused mid-sip. I looked at Marcus, his calm strength steadying me like Savannah's ancient oaks. You don't belong in this story anymore, Daniel. You're just a footnote. Security approached, their steps firm on the wooden floor, and Daniel muttered, rolling his eyes as he left, his exit loud but empty. The restaurant exhaled, jazz returning, the waiter offering dessert with a kind smile. I laughed, not from humor but relief, a quiet victory pulsing through me. Marcus squeezed my hand, whispering, "I'm proud of you." Tears welled, not from pain, but power, a strength I'd fought years to claim. We finished dinner and danced barefoot on the beach, the moon glinting off waves like broken glass turned to silver. Marcus's wax-sealed letter rested in my purse, its words unread but its weight grounding me. But Daniel's stunt wasn't random. I sensed he'd try again, his ego too bruised to stay silent. The next day, in our Savannah home, the air thick with salt and magnolia, I climbed to the attic, seeking clarity among old boxes. There I found a wooden box, its marigold carvings faded, left by my grandmother Alma, labeled, "For Maya, when the past returns." Alma, a fierce woman who'd survived her own toxic marriage in a small Georgia town, had taught me resilience, her hands braiding my hair as she shared stories of fighting back against her ex's cruelty. Inside were letters, a journal, and a USB drive, with a note, "Your strength is your shield." The USB held Alma's records from the 1970s, detailing her legal battle against her ex-husband's harassment, including a restraining order strategy and contacts for a lawyer friend. My heart raced. Alma had foreseen this fight, her wisdom a lighthouse in my storm. I called my friend Lila, a Savannah lawyer, who revealed Daniel had been asking about me, digging into my life through mutual acquaintances, even contacting my colleagues. My fear hardened into resolve. I'd protect my future, not just with words but with strategy, in a city that whispered women should endure quietly. Over weeks, I built my case, Alma's journal beside me, its pages worn but fierce. Savannah's Spanish moss swayed outside, whispering strength as the city's humid nights wrapped around me. I gathered evidence. Daniel's old voicemails, saved on a dusty phone, their tone dripping with manipulation. Screenshots of his recent social media posts, hinting at obsession with cryptic jabs, and statements from the Tide's Embrace staff, who'd overheard his taunts and saw his disruption. Lila helped draft a protection order, citing Daniel's history and recent intrusion, her legal mind sharp and supportive. I also created a private blog, Reclaimed, to share my story anonymously, linking Alma's records to warn others about toxic exes, its design clean and coded with my marketing skills. I timed its release for Daniel's next move, knowing his ego wouldn't stay quiet. When he emailed me, feigning apologies with lines like, "We were meant to be," I forwarded it to Lila, adding it to the case, each piece a brick in my defense. Each step was calculated. My intelligence a weapon against the prejudice that expected women to swallow pain silently. Savannah's society circles whispering I should let it go for appearances. Daniel struck again, showing up at my marketing firm in Savannah's historic district, cobblestone streets glowing under morning light. He carried roses, shouting, "I miss you, Maya," his voice echoing through the open-plan office. Colleagues stared, whispers spreading like wildfire, their coffee cups frozen mid-sip. I was ready. I presented the protection order, served by Lila's firm, barring him from contact, my voice steady as I handed it to security. They escorted him out, his face red with embarrassment, roses left wilting on the floor, their petals scattering like his failed attempt. The blog went live that day. Reclaimed trending as women across social media shared stories of breaking free, their voices echoing mine. Daniel's reputation crumbled, his social circle shrinking, his attempts to rewrite my story failing in Savannah's tight-knit gossip mills. My victory wasn't revenge. It was justice, a reclaiming of my peace, a shield built from Alma's wisdom and my own strength. At home, Marcus read his wax-sealed letter aloud, its final promise echoing, "No matter what your past holds, I'll always be here, holding your hand in the present." Tears fell, not from fear but freedom, the ocean's salt air filling our windows, the city's heartbeat syncing with mine. A month later, a letter arrived from Alma's old friend, a librarian, enclosing a note from Alma, dated 1995. "Maya, my heart, I saved my story for when yours is tested. Stand tall and build beyond their reach." Alma had foreseen my fight, her love a beacon through Savannah's humid nights, her stories of surviving abuse now my guide. The letter included a list of legal contacts and advice on rebuilding, guiding me as if she were still braiding my hair. I placed the wooden box on our mantel, its marigold carvings glowing under soft light, a symbol of resilience. With Lila, I launched a community project, mentoring women escaping toxic relationships, teaching them legal tools and self-worth in workshops held at Savannah's Community Center. Women attended, their stories mirroring mine, their courage blooming like spring azaleas. Savannah's whispers turned to respect, my name a light for others in a city once bound by old expectations. I'd turned pain into power, not with shouts, but with the sharp edge of my mind, honoring Alma's legacy in every step, my heart healed by purpose and Marcus's unwavering love. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe. Where are you watching from?